Hi. Hello, everybody. Hello. How y'all doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. I see you guys here. Everybody's been waiting. I appreciate you guys being so patient today, coming over to join us to get this review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I hope you guys had a wonderful, happy Mother's Day today. I sure did. I had a great Mother's Day. My husband and my son took me out to one of my favorite restaurants. I love seafood, so I went to one of my favorite seafood restaurants, got my favorite dish, got my eat on, got my drink on, did some shopping afterwards, which that always makes me happy because I like to shop. I just had a great day. I just had a great day. Some of you guys saw me on here early. We did early pop in to do a little video. Somebody said me too. I love shopping. Oh my God. And I like to shop. Well, not really bargain shop, but I like to get more for my money. I don't just be picking anything up because I'm just like, hey, if I can get 3, 4, 5 things, and I try to set a budget when I shop so that I don't go over too far. But I just love to shop, guys. Shoes and bags and stuff. I love that. Like, I don't know. Any women out there buy shoes before you buy anything? I'm a shoeaholic because I love shoes. I buy shoes like, I got to stop it, y'all. I do. Oh my God, I gotta stop it. I love shoes. Shoes is I can't even tell you how many shoes I have, like for real. I think somebody saying yes. We about to get into the review here in a second. I love shoes. I buy shoes before I buy anything. Shoes and bags, like, obsession. Let's go ahead and get this out the way. Disclaimer. Everything said in this video is, in my opinion, okay, said and alleged as well, and is used for fair use, okay? Yes. All right. I try to get me a look. Y'all, I don't went downstairs and got me a shower and put my damn pajamas on. I done got comfortable. I said, you know what? Kimmy, get your ass up. Cause you gotta go do this review. I'm down there watching TV with my husband. I'm just chilling like I ain't got nothing to do. I had to get up and get dressed all over, get dressed so I can come up here and do this damn video, y'all. I don't know. I was tripping. Y'all know how I beat y'all. You get that shower and you lay, and it's been raining off and on most of the day too. I was just like, let me get on up now because somebody gonna be short now. Anyway, we're here. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. Everybody have a good Mother's Day, a happy Mother's Day, all the mothers. Hope you guys had a happy Mother's Day. All right. Season 6, guys. Episode 6. All right. The title of this review is Being Lay T-A-E Like, because you guys know this is the episode where they will be going to the tea party. Okay. Yes, Melody's tea party is this episode. All right. For those of you that have not watched it and you're waiting on the review, yes, that is what's going to be going on here. Said Caramel said we are sisters from another mister. Shoes and handbags. Yes, God, I love shoes. I can't even tell you. I'm not even going to even say how many pairs of shoes. I'm like, Caramel, damn, really? Yes, guys, I love shoes. I do. I really do. I love shoes. I love shoes, and I'm always looking at other people's shoes. It's an obsession. I don't know. Said, why Tisha invite coleslaw friend as her child? I saw that. We're going to get to it. Thank you so much for the super chat, though, Miss Sheree. All right, Sheree. This ain't Martell Sheree, is it? No, let me stop. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the super chat. All right, we ain't going to start yet. It's too early. All right, let's get started. All right. Okay, season 6, episode 6, Being Lay T Like. All right, so the episode begins, you guys, with Melody pulling up to Tiffany's house to go and sit and talk, chat, catch up with her, see how she was doing since the spa, party that Tisha and them had. Because Melody had not seen and or talked to Tiffany since then. She had a pretty well manicured yard, which I look at everything. But the yard was well manicured. Kind of not how Tisha and Marceau's yard was. Their yard was a hot damn mess with corn and shit growing in the driveway. But Tiffany and they got a pretty nice, well manicured yard. I don't know what's be going on with the inside of the house. So the inside of the house don't be clean too much. So maybe they be too tired after they do the outside. They just be like, F the inside. We ain't cleaning up today, even though the cameras are coming. But whatever, okay? All right, so Tiffany, of course, y'all know she's about to pop because, honey, she's in her last trimester of pregnancy. Melody goes over, honey, to talk to her. Then Melody goes in her confessional, honey. She says after watching Tiffany and Kiki at the spa party that she had to come and check on her girl, Tiffany, honey, to make sure that she was okay. Because y'all know Kiki was on 10, honey. They was on the at the spa party. All right. So they talk and they're discussing the spa day and how horrible things went between the two of them, Kiki and Tiffany, because they were arguing and carrying on, and the whole vibe and the energy was off. All right. So Melody then begins to talk about her Miss Carol, the lady who was going to be hosting the tea party, and she mentions it to Tiffany in an effort to invite her. Okay. And she was saying that the lady would be doing some type of etiquette tea for them, and she says it's going to be a high tea etiquette type of situation, and she wanted Tiffany to come. So Tiffany says that she thinks that it would be a very good idea. Okay. So then Tiffany says that she hopes that people come. She hopes that the people that come have an open mind, okay, about this tea party. And she said that she left the spot with her blood pressure high. And I was like, yeah, you left with your blood pressure high, Tiffany, because you started some mess that you did not have to start. Nobody told you to go there and be picking a fight and or argument with anybody, knowing that you are very big pregnant and in your last trimester of pregnancy. You don't need that type of stress, ma'am. And that situation had nothing to do with you. So you kind of brought that stress on yourself. All right. So, of course, while Tiffany is talking, honey, y'all know Melody is not going to pass up an opportunity to be eating, honey, and getting her grub on. Melody's like, yep, sure enough. Melody, y'all know Melody was over there getting it in, honey. She was tearing it up. It looked like a fruit tray or something that Tiffany had up there, maybe like some cheese or something else. But Mel was tearing it up. Melody did not give a damn about no cameras, honey. So Melody tells Tiffany, like I said, about the kids' party at the skating ring. Tiffany asked, was Martell invited? Melody says no, but he came anyway. And Melody also says that she talked to Martell prior to the party so that he could tell Mariah, which is the oldest daughter, happy birthday. Okay. So Melody also says that Martell was so concerned about why she didn't invite him. And Melody also said that she told him, of course, you know, he was not invited for whatever reason. And Martell proceeds to go off on Melody. And he was upset about her not inviting him, but inviting everyone else but him, because he felt like he should have been invited because he's the dad. So, of course, Melody says that she hung up the phone because she was not about to argue with him. Her daughter was sitting right there. She did not want that energy. They were on the way to the party. So Tiffany kind of looks at Melody like, wow, like all this happened? Like, yes, girl. So then Melody says that after the party was over, that she told Mariah, okay, that let's call your dad so you can go and hang out with him as promised, because Melody had already told Martell prior that he could come and get Mariah after the party. All right. So Melody proceeds to explain how that went, and when she decided to let Tiffany hear the call. She said, you know, so and so happened with this with us, you know, when Martell's supposed to been coming to get the kids. But she said, you know what, let me let you listen to the call because I recorded it. So Melody recorded the call whenever she called Martell to ask him if he was coming to get Mariah. Not sure why he didn't want to get Boss Baby as well, because it was both of their party, but he just wanted to get the oldest daughter, Mariah. So the phone call went like this, where Mariah said, yes, sir, are you going to come and get me today? Talking to Martell. Martell then responds by saying, no, I'm going to get you Monday, sweetheart, which I thought was very effed up, because you had already told her that you were coming to get her after the birthday party. She was already expecting it. She was already anticipating you coming to get her. She was excited. She sounded very disappointed whenever he told her no, he would get her that Monday. Mind you guys, the party was on Saturday. Okay, the party was on Saturday, so she had to go the entire weekend and wait until Monday, which he probably didn't even get her then. All right, so Mariah says, okay, in disappointment. And Martell says, yeah, you know, like, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to come. So then Melody says to Martell, says, you're not gonna get Mariah today, Martell? Like, you did all this bullshit at the party and you're not gonna come and get Mariah? So Martell responds, I'm gonna get her Monday, Melody, like that. So Melody says to Tiffany, you know, she says that she just kind of laughed in anger. You know, she was kind of over it because Martell made a complete ass out of himself, yelling and carrying on, and was very adamant about he wanted to spend time with his daughter and his kids for their birthday. And he didn't even make an effort to even come and get the child afterwards. So Mel was like, she was pretty much like, I'm used to this bullshit. This is Martell and this is how he operates. Okay. Melody says, so now you sit out here at this party. She says at the party for 20-30 minutes talking about I should be able to have her on her birthday and you don't come and get her. So that's what Melody was saying. So then Tiffany says that he acts like it's all Mel after hearing the call. You know, so after Melody hears the call, after Tiffany hears the call, she's convinced that, okay, Martell, he, you know, anytime he talks, he tries to make it seem like it's all Mel, and Mel don't want Martell to be around the kids, and she's always trying to keep it from the kids. But as she's hearing this call, she's seeing, you know, that it's Martell and how he is brushing the kids off to do whatever it is that he wanted to do, which we already know, go to Atlanta. All right. So, oh God, that part made me mad because I'm just like, that's your daughter. That's her birthday. And we already talked about how kids are when you tell them prior that you're going to do something. So she was really anticipating that, and you could tell the disappointment in her voice. All right. So Melody says that it would help even with me to communicate with a narcissist. She says, speaking of Martell, you guys, okay. So Melody says to Tiffany, she says, bring a +1 and everyone will be there talking about the party. All right. So then Tiffany says that with this group, a +1 means backup. Okay. So Melody kind of looks at Tiffany like, child, like it ain't that serious. Okay. It's just a tea party. Ain't nobody coming to be throwing no hands or nothing, girl. Especially you, because you about to be having a whole baby. All right. So then the next scene comes up with Kimmy and Maurice. All right. They are home. Kimmy is in the kitchen. She's making some type of pasta dish. Maurice comes into the kitchen. They're having a discussion. And they're talking about Monster, which is Kiowa and Maurice's son, which I think he's now 16 years old. Okay. So Kimmy says that she has to get Monster into cleaning his room after Maurice mentions getting Monster dialed into doing his homework as well. So he's really kind of slacking on cleaning, doing his homework, typical teenage type bullshit if you don't stay on top of them. Okay. So then Maurice goes on to say that, so you ask him to do his room and he just doesn't do it, as if he don't know. Come on, Maurice. And then he's smiling like he has like this smirk, like he kind of thinks that it's funny. And I'm just like, that's not funny. Because number one, I don't feel like that responsibility should be left solely on Kimmy like that. And this is during the time, mind you, that she is sick, going through chemo. Like she's not really feeling like trying to be dealing with no damn monster and yelling at him and telling him to clean his room and do homework, when this is the responsibility that you took on, Maurice, in terms of asking your son to come and live with you. So now that Kimmy is sick, you want her to still act in the same capacity as she did before she found out she had cancer. And that's unfair to her because some days she don't feel like dealing with it. She's raised her son. Jalen is grown and moved out on his own. And now she's settled down with raising your son. And you're not stepping up. All right. So Kimmy says, actually, he doesn't, meaning that he does not clean his room and he does not listen to her when she's giving him orders in terms of what to do in the home. So then Maurice, of course, he kind of just gives that look like, So then Maurice says, if you tell him to do something and he just openly defies you, you just take it. So that's what he's asking Kimmy. All right. So Kimmy responds, do you think I just take it? So what she's trying to say is, I ask him to do something and he totally defies me. Like, what you want me to do after that? Like spank his ass or something? Like you want me, get my belt and discipline him? Like, what do you want me to do? If I ask him to do it, he don't do it. Really, I'm just his stepmom. There's, certain levels that I can only go because I'm not really his mom like that. And I don't really, you know what I mean? Kimmy, she's kind of feeling like that. She's kind of put between a rock and a hard place in terms of how to deal with Monster. And she's feeling like she don't have that extra push and or support with Maurice, and he's just not getting it. All right. So Kimmy says, per her confessional, she says, it's like you're giving me a hard time for not enforcing rules with Monster. Okay. She says that, and then Kimmy, of course, she's looking defeated in this moment. She says, but you're having problems enforcing the rules yourself. Okay. All right, moving on. So also in the confessional, Maurice says that we have the same struggle, says that we're both having problems with Monster. It should not be a struggle. You ask him to come and live with you. You're the father. You are the one who should be stepping up with the discipline side. Okay. Kimmy should not be yelling at Monster. You should be able to tell him one time to go clean that damn room and to get cleans. If it doesn't, then consequences and or repercussions should follow. Period. 16, I don't care if he's 16 or 7. If you're living under my roof and I give you orders to do something and you don't do it, there's consequences. Okay. And if you can't abide by the rules, then you may need to go back and stay with your mom. Period. So Kimmy was like, right. She says, we both are, meaning that we're both dealing with the same issue with Monster in terms of him not listening and or following rules. Maurice then says that I'm trying to at least I'm trying to enforce it at least. He says, then he says, you know, I'm actually taking baby steps. Okay. And I'm like, you don't need no baby steps in this situation with him, because it sounded like he don't give a hot damn about what either one of you guys say. So, all right. So, so then Kimmy says, when he doesn't do things that I ask, she says that, are we having the conversation again with Monster? Okay. So, Maurice, he kind of looks at Kimmy like, what? Like, he just don't get it. And I'm just like, how did you even pass your lawyer's exam? Because you kind of seem like you kind of slow, Maurice. It's like it's not registering with him what Kimmy is saying. So then Kimmy says, for some reason that you just don't want to, in terms of stepping up and helping with the discipline with Monster. Okay. So then Maurice says that it's not like I'm back. It's not like I'm not backing you up, Kimmy. And that's totally what it is. All right. So then Kimmy says, that's exactly what I'm saying. All right. Meaning that you do not help enforce things with Monster. So then Maurice says, but you make the rule. Then you say, here, Maurice, I want you to enforce it. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with her making the rule and saying, Maurice, I want you to enforce it. You're the man of the house. You are his biological father. If he is not listening to me, I'm his stepmom. I'm a bonus mom. So it's your job as the man who asked him to come and stay here in the first place, because you wanted to groom him and you wanted him to have this father figure in his life, somebody who, you know, could teach him how to be a man and all these things that you said seasons ago when you were fussing and wanting him to come and stay with you. Now it's like you backpedaling and you want somebody else to step up and take on the job that you said that you would take in terms of having your son live with you. I think it's very selfish of him. Like, what else are you doing? You ain't fixing nobody damn credit. You ain't doing nothing else. So you should be focusing that attention on raising your son, because you asked for him to come and stay. Kimmy did not. She didn't want him to come and stay there, because she already told him, I already raised my child. I'm at the point in my life where I'm ready to do some things for myself. So now she's put in a situation to do Maurice's job. So Kimmy says, as a bonus parent, there's a limit to what I'm going to do. And he knows that. So she's saying, hey, whenever I ask him to do something, he knows I'm not going to take it any further than me just asking him, because there's certain limits because of who I am to him. All right. She says that disciplining other people's kids is a fine line. All right. This is Kimmy's words. All right. And this is in her confessional. So then Maurice, being the petty ninja that he is, he says to Kimmy, so you don't feel that you are his parent. So now he's trying to flip this situation, because Kimmy is letting him know that he don't take responsibility for what he's supposed to with Monster. So now he's trying to flip it and say, so you don't feel that you are his parent. That's not what she said, Maurice. She's saying to you, you don't take responsibility and that she is just a bonus parent. So when he heard bonus parent, he used that as an opportunity to try to deflect what Kimmy was saying to him in terms of him not taking on responsibility. Typical Scott behavior. Y'all know they all act that way. They're narcissistic and they do not take accountability. Marceau is the same way. So this don't surprise me. Okay. Gaslighting too. I see y'all put it in there. So Maurice is avoiding taking accountability for not stepping up as Monster's dad to enforce the rules in terms of making Kimmy the bad guy, and using the fact that she refers to herself as the bonus parent versus just the parent. Okay. She don't want to overstep boundaries, because she's still trying to feel her way in the dark around her relationship with Kiowa and not getting, back in a bad space with her now that they are on speaking terms and that they're able to kind of deal with each other and not argue every time they're in each other's presence. So it's a fine line with her dealing with Monster, because he also is communicating with his mother and telling his mother things as well. So she's trying to kind of tiptoe on eggshells in terms of how she deals with Monster, because she does not want to reignite issues that they have previously had before. All right. I mean, Kiowa is his mother. Maurice, you're his father. Step up. Kimmy says that I absolutely feel that I'm his parent. She says, I love Monster and I feel you. She says, and Kiowa, you guys are his parents and your rules overshadow mine. That's how Kimmy feels. So then Maurice says that this started when your relationship wasn't good with Kiowa. It created a monster. That is what Maurice told Kimmy. I don't understand what that would have to do with Kimmy telling him to clean his room. If she asks him to clean the room, that don't have nothing to do with no relationship between no damn Kyle and Kimmy. If Kimmy says, Monster, I need you to go in there clean your room and I need you to go take the trash out, that ain't got nothing to do with no rift that she had with no Kyle. It's just period and point and the damn blank. Do the shit that I asked you to do, or grab your shit and take it that way. And Maurice, go ahead and crank your car and going to take him back to his mama house because he can't stay here no more. Period. I'm not about to argue with nobody's child. And I'm damn sure not going to argue with his father and continue to go back and forth with him because he don't understand what accountability means as well. And I said it in my review the other day. If you got a problem with the rules and you got a problem with what I'm saying, you and your son can get the hell out because last time I checked, this is my house. Okay. That's what I would have told his ass. Last time I checked, this is my house. My house, my rules. If you feel that way, gather your shit and take it that way. Okay. So Kimmy says that you're acting like my issue of having reprimand with Monster is because of Kiowa. She says that's not the issue. My issue, Maurice, is with you. Maurice doesn't want to take responsibility still. He sits there shaking his head, which further irritates Kimmy because she sees that he's not taking accountability and he doesn't get it. So Maurice says, this is what I want to do. I want to call Kiowa, which I thought was the most disrespectful shit ever. If I'm your wife and I'm having a conversation with you about an issue that I feel is happening in our house, why are you calling someone else outside of the house? I don't care if she is his mother. I'm having a conversation with you. You don't need to pick up the phone and call Kiowa until our conversation is over. And the conversation between Kiowa needs to be had between you and Kiowa. Don't bring me into it. So he calls Kiowa, puts Kiowa on FaceTime, to where the two of them can have a conversation. And he just kind of sat back and watched the two of them kind of just have a conversation. So he done called Kiowa on FaceTime and turned the phone around so that Kimmy and Kiowa could talk. After he sits there and tells, well, I'm calling you to let you know that we have an issue with Monster not listening, and Kimmy is she's kind of feeling a certain way about Monster not listening. So I want you to have a conversation with her. And Kimmy looking like, bitch, did you really do that? Did you really call her? And I'm having a conversation with you. I didn't ask you to call her. This is like the second time on this show that Maurice had done that. Now, he had a whole conversation where he asked Kiowa, y'all remember, at the restaurant, to come and meet him, Kimmy, and Kiowa. Have Kiowa come there to meet Maurice and Kimmy. Then he hops his ass up talking about he got something to do. He can't be there. Kimmy, can you handle this situation with Kiowa? Knowing they're not in a great space. I don't understand why he don't step up and do what he needs to do. And he left. I see that in it. He left her sitting there, and it was hella uncomfortable. And it further pissed Kimmy off that he just sat there and called Kiowa. So Kiowa was like, Kimmy was like, why are you calling her? When Maurice called Kiowa. So then Maurice, frustrated, he says, because this shouldn't ever be an issue. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to hang up the phone and talk to me. Kiowa should not be in the middle of this. I'm your wife. Kiowa is your ex-wife. I'm having a conversation with you. You have now entered someone else into our conversation, which further complicates things. So now you see me and you already exchanging words, damn near arguing. So now you done put her on the phone and she see the dynamic between the two of us discussing her son, which then makes her feel a certain type of way when we already are not in the greatest place. Do y'all see where I'm coming from? So Maurice is like, he keeps setting Kimmy up to look bad in front of Kiowa to make her further feel a certain type of way about her. So then Kimmy says the issue shouldn't be that I got to ask you to back me up when he don't do what I've asked him to do. It's simple, okay? So in the middle of Kimmy expressing herself, Maurice, like I said, he starts talking to Kiowa. Just like ain't shit happening. And I was just like, that's rude as hell. I would have probably snapped on his ass sitting there. I would have snapped on Maurice. I'm sorry. Okay, because the conversation, like I said, was between Kimmy and Maurice. All right. So Maurice was acting like a whole bitch boy right there. So Maurice says that hey Kiowa, me and Kimmy was just talking about Monster and discipline. Okay. So Maurice then says to Kiowa, says that I'd rather Kimmy not say it. Okay. Says that Kimmy is, of course, Kimmy was in the kitchen still cooking. Okay. And she says that when you decided to make the phone call, she said it like that because she was hella bothered by it. Okay. Once again, she says, when you decided to make the phone call, she says that, hold on. So then Maurice kind of cuts her off and says, in front of Kiowa on the phone, says that you have a problem disciplining Monster, right, Kimmy? She says, because of how Kiowa would feel. So it's like he's looking at Kimmy and seeing the frustration on her, and he's just kind of feeding words to Kiowa, like he's saying that these are Kimmy's words when he's trying to speak for Kimmy. But you could have talked to Kimmy and had this conversation with her instead of feeding words to Kiowa. And Kiowa just sitting there looking, when they put the camera on Kiowa on the phone, she just sitting there looking like, bitch, why y'all call me? Why y'all could have handled this? Like, why am I on the phone right now? That's how she was looking. Like it was hella uncomfortable for her to be on the phone in between the two of them disagreeing about this situation. All right. So Kimmy says, no, I do not, out of frustration. All right. So then Maurice says, I want you to explain. That to Kiowa so that she can understand what you're trying to say. So Kimmy says that I want you to stop saying that I have a problem with disciplining Monster. Okay. All right. So then Maurice flips the phone around to Kimmy while she's actually talking, and Kiowa could see the frustration on Kimmy, like I said. All right. And she's pretty much saying that that's not a problem. That my thing is that she is his biological mother, and that I feel like Maurice should step up. So by this time, Kiowa is agreeing that Maurice should be the one to step up, which that further irritates him because he was hoping that Kiowa would be on his side in terms of the conversation, but it kind of flipped on him, and Kiowa agreed with Kimmy. Okay, so that shit was so funny to me. I was like, see, that's what your ass get. You should have never called her. All right, so then Kimmy sits down to have a conversation with Kiowa, okay, and she speaks to Kiowa. She was very nice to Kiowa when she spoke. And she says, I don't even know why he brought you into this conversation, Kiowa. She says that, of course, Kiowa spoke back to her respectfully, but she saw the frustration. All right. So Kimmy says to Kiowa, she says, I'm really, really sorry that he brought you into this conversation. Maurice says that she shouldn't have to apologize. So that's what he's saying to Kiowa, as Kimmy saying that I'm sorry that he called and put you in this conversation. So then Kimmy explains that Monster is not following rules, and that she wants Maurice, who is his daddy, to help her deal with this. She says that people don't like when you discipline their kids, and some people are that way. All right. So then Maurice says that Kimmy's asking, do you feel that she's to a point where she can discipline Monster? He making it sound like Kimmy gonna pull out a whole belt on Monster. I mean, it's simple. It's a respect thing. Okay. So then Kiowa says, absolutely. She says, but I also understand what she's saying, and I appreciate the fact that she's concerned about how I would feel. Okay. It's a respect thing. That's all. So then Maurice says to Kiowa, so you will be okay with Kimmy treating Monster like Jalen? Like, that's not what was said, Maurice. Okay, Jalen is a whole grown ass man. Of course, she's not gonna deal with Monster as she would deal with Jalen, or how she may have dealt with Jalen. All right. So then Maurice says that, guys, we're gonna just agree to disagree, because the conversation wasn't going in the way he wanted it to go, because Kiowa, like I said, was agreeing with Kimmy. All right. So then Kimmy laughs like in disgust, like, like, yeah, all right, Maurice, while she gets up to go and check on her food that's cooking in the kitchen. Okay. So then Maurice says, thank you for your input, Kiowa. Says it looks like you're gonna says it looks like you're neutral in all of this. Okay. So he was kind of feeling the way that the conversation, like I said, didn't go the way he wanted to. Then Kimmy responds, no, she's not. Says that she made that clear. Says that, how's this call working out for you, Maurice? So she kind of rubbed it in. She says, because she's agreeing with me. All right. So then Maurice, of course, he keeps talking to Kiowa, and then they end the call, and Kiowa says bye. All right. Kimmy also says goodbye to Kiowa as well. All right. Moving on to the next scene, because that scene right there, I was getting upset with Maurice and how he was acting. Next scene is Stormy, honey, bitter beak still. They're at this place called Toonji's Creations, where Kiki later joins her, and they greet, and they actually explain how they're and they're actually explaining that they're going to be doing this thing called a Rocky, okay, where they're going to be releasing like negative energy, Okay, because y'all know Stormy is into that whole sound bowls and all that other. She's in all that type shit. So she invites Kiki to come along for this little releasing energy outing. And yeah, so they're in there doing that. So they go to the back where they're actually greeted by the lady describes as the spiritual leader, okay, or healer rather. She's a spiritual healer. And her name is Tunjunkia Burney. I was like, yikes. So she explains what she actually does so that she could kind of catch Kiki up, because Stormy is already privy to how this works because she's done this before. So she's explaining what she does, and she asks, what questions either of them may have, okay? So Kiki says, can you explain what you mean by a child of God? After this healing lady says, well, first of all, I just want to say that I'm a child of God. So Kiki, she kind of looks like, child of God, like, okay, what does that have to do with what we're doing here? We about to have Bible study, or we about to, release some energies? Like, what we doing? So she says, Kiki's like, can you explain to me what you mean by this whole child of God thing? Like, what you mean by that? So Kiki wasn't sure about mixing the crystals, you guys, with the chakra together, because she said it kind of seems or kind of feels a little blasphemous. So she didn't want to be into that whole trying to put roots and all that type shit. She was like real standoffish as it related to that. She was like, whoa, this kind of going a little bit too far. Now, I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm Baptist in here. This is looking like a little bit of roots type of shit. And I ain't used to this. All right. So Stormy, she kind of smiles, kind of like she's, uncomfortable that Kiki kind of went there with that, because like I said, this is some stuff that Stormy is into. She does this. So the spiritual healer explains to Kiki, she says, when someone tells you that someone who hasn't read the Bible thoroughly, when somebody says that to you, then that means that that's somebody who has not read the Bible thoroughly. Okay. So she kind of stands up and she kind of opens up to kind of clear the chakras, as they call it. All right. So then Kiki, she says, so I can use it to shock someone. So she's totally oblivious to what the hell is going on. So the healer is like, yes, you can. So Kiki says that she don't like the idea of the experience. She says, but she is just going to go ahead with it and try it. All right. So the healer says that you're overthinking. Okay. And then she's telling Stormy that she has a beautiful heart. And I was like, yeah, y'all need to get this chakra on, because if you think that Stormy got a beautiful heart, we need to get some more shocking going on. Because I don't know what kind of chakra you doing, but from the video that we saw with Black Titanic, that was not giving me good heart. But go off, sis. Healer. It's looking like you might be a fraud out here if you thinking that Stormy is a whole that she got a whole beautiful heart out here, because I ain't seen nothing beautiful about that shit. But okay. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, I don't know about that, sis. I don't know about that. You might need to do a little bit of some more of that shit and put it towards Stormy, honey, because that was not giving beautiful heart. Yeah, you're coming off as a false prophet there, sis. So then the healer says to Stormy, she says that you really move from purity. She's talking in this real calm voice. You really move from purity. And then Stormy, she kind of turns and she kind of looks at the chakra, and her favorite thing to do, she starts crying. Oh my God. You really think that I move from purity? Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe you said that. Oh my God. She's in that bullshit. I was just like, ooh, child, y'all might want to light some, like Erica Badu, y'all might need to start lighting some incense while y'all talking, because she going into a whole nother realm now. Stormy is. Oh my God. Oh. So then the healer says that a lot of people don't understand you. This is what she's saying to Stormy. A lot of people don't understand you because you're different. You're on a different level because of your energy. Okay. So Stormy, she's still in the zone, honey. She's there with her eyes closed, and she's steady wiping her eyes, honey, because I don't know, maybe she's feeling the Holy Ghost or something. I don't know, child. So then the healer says, she said, she starts wanding Kiki, honey. She goes over there to Kiki, honey. She's doing, she got this whole shit going, this shit here going over there by Kiki. And she starts wanding Kiki and calling her a champion. You're a champion. You're a champion. I was like, you mean like the champion? Like, okay. You mean like the champion's t-shirt? Like what? Has she been in the Olympics? Has Kiki ever been in the Olympics? I mean, because I know she had ran real fast when she was in Home Depot, but I didn't know that she was. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because they said she got out of there real fast in Home Depot. So we were talking about that kind of champion. You're a champion. You ran real fast out of Home Depot. It was that type of shit. I was just like, okay. She says, be careful of your words that you speak because your words are powerful. I was like, oh, okay. Somebody said it was a wicked spirit. So Kiki says that she agrees with the chakra. I was like, oh, okay. I ain't never had no chakra, so that shit was kind of weird just sitting back and looking at it. I was like, I don't know about this one. So then the healer lady asked both Kiki and Stormy how they felt after this whole experience, okay? So they both responded. They feel good. They feel lighter, okay? And I'm trying to figure out why they didn't invite Martell to this whole experience, okay? Because he definitely need a chakra, some shocking, exorcist. Maybe the sheriff need to swing by there, some hot ball and praying oil, some Monostat 27, and maybe a hug after all that. But anywho, go off, sis. Yeah. So then Kiki and Stormy, honey. Kiki and Stormy, they speak about how they kind of mesh together and they enjoy each other's company, honey. So then Stormy says that she says that they say I'm ghetto, which you are, okay? So then Kiki says, they say I'm from the other side of the tracks, but who cares? Okay, because y'all know she got that, real hood talk. Her and Tisha kind of talk the same almost. She got a little thick tongue in her. Okay, Kiki got a little thick tongue in her too, but hers is a little more corporate. She got a little corporate thick tongue about her. All right, so so then Kiki said that she's not happy how things with Tiffany went. I knew that shit was gonna go there, okay, because she's still holding on to that situation with Tiffany. All right, so she wants to sit with Tiffany, okay, to talk, okay, and she says it's gonna be calm. I promise it ain't gonna be no. I just want to have a sit down with her so that we can kind of get to the bottom of things, cause child. So then Stormy says that she says that they need to squash things because whoever you argue with while you're pregnant, that's who your baby is gonna come out looking like. Okay. I was like, oh snap, child. You don't want you, and I ain't nothing against Kiki, baby. But I'm like, yeah, y'all might want to fix that, honey. Y'all might want to fix that because the way she was looking, honey, when they was holding her face in the spa, when she was kind of going off. When they had the cold Kiki face like this, she was looking like somebody else up in there, honey. She had a little bit of Celie seeping out. Y'all know Celie from Color Purple. Celie from Color Purple was seeping out when she was in that trance in the spa. I was like, oh shit. She's that me and you, us never part was about to come out in the spa. That's what I was seeing. Okay. It was giving me and you, us never part when they was holding your face, girl. So yeah, y'all might want to, you and Tiffany, y'all squash that shit because we don't want that baby coming out looking like that. But moving right along, so Kiki says that it would be amazing if Tiffany's baby came out looking like me. And I said, you a damn lie. Chakra, y'all get back in here and give her some more shocking. Because she got some more spirits up in her. Huh? But moving on to the next scene. Baby, the chakra need to come on back in there and shock you some more. She need to put some more of this shit on you. All right. So the next scene, honey. I'm tripping, y'all. All right, so the next scene is where Martell, honey, meets up with Maurice, honey, at the Credit None office. All right, aka Credit None. Credit One, aka Credit None, where they don't fix no credit, honey. You pay them all your money and your shit gonna still be your credit score. You go in there at a 0 and you come out of there at a -0. That's kind of how it works over there. But moving right along. So they greet each other. Maurice and Martell greet each other. Okay, they go inside the office and it looks like doing some type of construction in Credit One. I don't know why. I don't know why y'all fixing all that shit up for nobody to be doing the work, but go off. All right, so then Maurice says that they are modernizing Credit One, okay, which is his law firm. His law firm is going to be downstairs and Credit One is going to also be in there as well. All right, in the downstairs area. And I was thinking to myself, so where the whole suite's going to be, because y'all know that's where the women be coming there too. So did y'all going to be upgrading the whole suite? So y'all don't care because they ain't going to be there that long. I mean, that was the question I was asking. Like, Credit One going to be upstairs and then downstairs your law office. Then where's the whole suite's going to be? Where the girls going to come when they come through there? Y'all going to be doing upgrades in those rooms, or y'all just going to leave it alone because they just going to be, breezing through there just for a couple hours, or maybe not. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah. So we're gonna move on from that. But because they might need to go on and fix some stuff up in there. The girls might want to see, cream on the walls or something like that. So y'all might want to do some upgrades up in there. Okay. So Maurice and Martell, honey, they start chopping it up. They talking, they catching up, blah, blah, blah. Martell says that everything is coming together mentally in terms of him now. He said everything is coming together mentally, lies, physically, lies. And he said credit-wise, that things are coming together credit-wise as well. And I said, that's another lie, because your ass is $10 million in debt in terms of bankruptcy that you have not paid yet, Martell. So I'm trying to figure out how that happened. Okay. How you bounce back from $10 million like that and you ain't paid shit on it? Well, maybe you did if Maurice was, well, I don't know, child. Anywho, moving right along. So Maurice says to Martell, says, the last time that I talked to you, okay, it says that your scores were up, okay? And I said, that sounds like some fraud shit right there, because how you don't pay nothing and your scores just shoot up like that? I'm trying to figure that out. How you don't pay nothing and your shit just shoot up? You start out at a 0, and then years go by like that, like 2-3 years go by, and you sitting up there on a 900 credit score. I'm trying to figure that out, okay? But all right, yeah. He says, the last time I checked, your scores went up. How that happened and you ain't been paying shit. So then Martell agrees, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, things have been going up. It's looking, things are looking better. So then Maurice says that I want to stay on you to make sure that you stay on top of things, Martell. I said, well, baby, you're going to be sleeping on top of him, because Martell don't do shit he's supposed to do. So, yeah. Somebody, I'm going to leave that alone. You're going to be staying on top of him, literally. Okay? Wherever he go, you better go, because Martell do not handle his business. And I think everybody knows that. All right, so then Maurice says that I've been divorced too, all right? He says, I've been divorced too, talking to Martell. He says, but how are things with you, Martell? All right. So then Martell says that with the kids, everything is going pretty good. He says, Mel and I, he says, it's a different story, all right? So then Martell then mentions the issue at the skate party to Maurice. Of course, his version of lies. Okay, y'all know Martell is never going to tell you the absolute truth in anything. He's going to add his own lies on it. So then Martell mentions that Mel told him to leave the party or she's calling the cops. Now, you done skipped over the whole fact that you weren't invited to the damn party. You done skipped over the fact that you done had a whole argument with Mel prior to the party when she called you so you could tell Mariah happy birthday, and you done screamed to her ear and snapped on her ass on the phone, and she done had to hang up on you. Then you shows up unbeknownst to her, uninvited, no gift in hand, screaming in Miss Van face, screaming in Mel face, acting a total ass at the party. You ain't mentioned none of that shit, so you breezed all the way over that just to say that Mel said she was going to call the cops. Well, why, pray tell, would she want to just call the cops out of the blue? You skipped over that. And Maurice, being the asshole that he is and the slow individual that he is, he sits there and looks surprised as if he don't know who Martell is and how he move out here in these streets. I was like, that's amazing. That's amazing. How you just sit here and just believe that somebody's calling them cops out of the blue when you know how Martell works and you've seen how he's aggressive with Mel. So you know it's something that he did to make her want to do that. So then Maurice says, what led to that? Martell, hello, says that, were you guys fighting prior to that? And Martell says, no, says that Melody said that, no, Melody and I were good. Lies. And Melody already said she spoke to Martell and he was acting a fool before he even arrived. All right, so then Martell says, says that we went back and forth a little bit. Now, first you said no, that you guys weren't fighting. So then you come back with first we went back and forth just a little bit, but nothing dramatic. Oh, really? So screaming at the top of your lungs in somebody's face was not dramatic? I really hate to see what his idea of dramatic is, if that wasn't dramatic, okay? Because you was going all the way back and forth, sir. Yes, you were. So then Maurice says that that's tough, man. That's really tough that you guys are going through that. And I'm gonna pray for you guys because you never want it noticeable to the kids. All right. He says it's important that you and Mel need to find your way back home. And I said, that's the problem. Martell don't stay home because his ass stay in Atlanta. And then when he is in Huntsville, he is using every opportunity to be stalking and harassing Mel. If he keep his ass at home, now I know ain't no lights on over there, but keep your ass home and leave people alone. That's the problem with Martell. Okay, so Maurice is trying to say they need to find their way back home, meaning that they need to get back to a space to where they're good and they're not doing this whole I'm calling the police on you and blah blah blah. You're gonna always have to call the police on Martell because he don't follow rules and he don't respect boundaries. All right. And Maurice, I don't think you the one need to be praying for anybody, because didn't you just have a situation with Kimmy to where you can't even speak to her, and you reaching over to call Kiowa and add her in a situation where you can't even talk to your wife? So maybe you want to save them prayers for yourself, Mr. Deacon Maurice, because y'all know he's supposed to be a deacon in his church. I don't know who ordained you, sir, but they need to be sat down and silenced. So then Maurice says that even if y'all ain't back together, that y'all got to figure things out, because y'all got a long road ahead. All right. So then Martell says, yeah, because Milani, which y'all know he don't call her sugar mama. Yeah, because Milani just turned 3. Okay. He never calls sugar mama. He never calls sugar mama Milani. I mean, sugar mama. He calls her Milani. Y'all know, because that's the name Mel made that name up for her. So he don't call her sugar mama. He calls her Milani. All right. Yeah. And then of course he had on that tight ass blue suit, which I don't know why the hell he had it on. And I said maybe that's why he was a little more irritated than usual, because that damn suit was tight on his damn arms, and I know it was pinching up here, y'all. It was tight as hell. I'm talking about like that. It was tight like a muscle shirt on his ass. I said, why does he keep wearing these tight ass clothes? So then Maurice says, per his confessional, he says divorce is hard. He says that Martell is starting to wake up and see that any steps back. And hold on. He says that Martell is starting to wake up and see that any steps back can take him further back. Any steps back can take him further backwards. Okay. And I'm just thinking, Maurice, you already know Martell has not made any improvements. So I don't know why you on that bullshit, sir. Like, I don't know why. You already know how Martell operates. Moving right along. So then Maurice also says that everything within my control. She says, I handle that, and I'll let God handle the rest. That's what he's telling Martell. All right. So then Martell is like, yeah, you know, I agree. So then Martell says, well, Maurice actually says that he says that was my saving grace with Kimmy whenever she was sick. God. He says that God was my saving grace whenever Kimmy was sick. All right. So then Martell then says, yeah, so how is Monster doing? Okay. So he's asking how Monster's doing. So then Maurice explains the issue with Monster not cleaning his room and not listening to rules. Kind of like how you do, Martell. Okay. Monster is kind of acting like you, Martell. So then Maurice says that, you know, keep your room clean. He was talking about Monster, like just keep your room clean and keep good grades. That's your responsibility. That's all that we're asking of you to do. So then Martell says, does he at least clean his room? Like you ain't heard nothing he just said. He's laughing. He think the shit funny. Martell is thinking that it's funny that Monster ain't listening to no rules and keeping the room clean. Okay. So then Maurice says, no, he says that, he says, I look at him through my eyes. He says, and I envy him, because if I had his life growing up, where would I be right now? Okay. And contrary to what Marceau likes to say, that you guys had this beautiful life and a great dad who was there for you guys, Maurice is now confirming that they did not have a great life and how they grew up very poor. Because he just said, if I had the same life that my son had, then, you know, I kind of envy him. I envy him because he didn't have the same life as me. So Maurice is kind of co-signing the fact that you guys grew up poor and that you guys did not have such a great life. All right. So then Martell says, well, he says that you will be worse. He says that most kids who are spoiled can be worse than your average kid. He says that my mom says till this day that people are who they are. Okay. And that sounds like something somebody drunk all the time would say. People are who they are. Okay. That's kind of probably what she probably say too when somebody asks her about her damn drinking all the time. I am who I am, and I drink what I drink. Who cares if I drink 99 bottles of beer on the wall? I am who I am. That sounds like some shit that Marlene would say. Yeah. And you are indeed a failure, just like her. But anyway, moving on. So then Maurice goes on and says that about this whole dog, that he had a dog as a kid, and his dog's name was Peaches. He says, and as a kid, the dog did not listen, and the dog wound up getting hit by a car. He says, I don't want society to run over my son because he don't listen. How you kind of got that out of comparing your son to a dog was just kind of weird, how he kind of put that together. And I was just like, I kind of feel like Carlos King might need to start drug testing the cast, because Maurice is kind of acting like he's on something in this particular episode, and how he was talking about this damn dog named Peaches. I ain't never heard no boy name his dog Peaches. So it was giving some kind of vibe there. So then Martell goes on to say, yeah, right. He says, that's why you got to take care of that now. Okay. Martell, you didn't have no discipline, so I don't even know why you even giving any type of nothing as it relates to discipline with Maurice. So then Martell says that, what is Monster, like 15, 16? He said, I was bad as hell around that age, okay? And you still are. So then Maurice was like, what helped you, Martell? I'm like, why is you taking advice from Martell, of all people? So Martell then says that what helped him growing up at 15 and 16 when he was bad as hell was sports, and he was also in ROTC. And I was just like, what? So you probably had on them tight ass pants back then too, marching around, thinking your ass was gonna be in the army. Didn't even know you was gonna be out here stealing ATMs, but go off, sir. So then Martell says that he was self-motivated because it was just him. Okay, he said it was just me. And I'm trying to figure out where the hell your mama was. Okay, we know your grandmama raised you, so now you putting it out there that your mother wasn't there for you like she was supposed to, because you're saying that it was just you. All right, so moving on to the next scene, Melody, honey, she has this flashback. They're showing Melody. She has this flashback, honey, to the spa with the party with Kiki and Tiffany, where they're arguing, okay, and they're getting ready for the tea party. All right, so they're getting ready to have this tea party. Melody is talking to the host of the tea party to get a heads up on how she wants to greet everybody and kind of how she wants things to flow, okay, in terms of this tea party. All right, Kimmy arrives first to the tea party. She greets Melody. Melody greets her back. Kimmy has on this like pink hat. Tiffany then arrives. She greets Melody. Melody greets her, and she speaks to everyone. Tisha then later arrives. And then there's a confessional where Tisha says that she's happy to be there to see everyone and to put everything in the past, not past, but past. Okay, and she wants to move forward. Great for you, girl. So then Stormy shows up, honey, when Melody announces that there's one more guest that they're waiting on. So Stormy was only supposed to come by herself. So Melody did not know that Betty Wooden Tooth Kruger was going to be coming as Stormy's +1, because Melody looks hella surprised whenever she looked over to see Betty coming in as Stormy's +1. All right. So then Melody says, oh, we have another guest. Okay. And she pretty much didn't seem like she was happy to see Betty, like I said, coming in, because it was unexpected. She didn't know Betty was coming. So then Stormy, per her confessional, says that she hopes things will go well because her mom has expressed her feelings for Melody for a while. Okay. Then production kind of shows a clip where Betty says that she didn't like Melody when she first met Melody. Okay. And my whole question is, if you don't like Melody, you know this is her whole tea party. She's hosting this tea party, and she has people here who she likes and that she fool with. Why are you even here if you feel that way about her? What was your purpose of being here to the tea party of somebody that you don't even like? It just seems weird. So then Stormy says that hopefully we can move forward and not be in a negative space. All right. So then the host of this tea party says, thank you, ladies, for being here. She introduces herself. Her name is Carol Ray. She explains the reason for the tea party and what to expect. She calls on Melody to get started, okay, pouring the tea to jumpstart the actual party, all right? So Melody starts pouring the ladies some tea, and then the host explains etiquette on how to hold your tea and how to hold the saucer, and when you're sitting and when you're standing, in terms of how to maneuver your saucer and or teacup, okay? So then the host then explains how they should stir their tea to dissolve the sugar in their tea cup quicker, okay? So then the host then says, take your tea. Oh, she was telling them how to, how to hold their teacups and how to maneuver their tea. So then Tiffany, she kind of makes a comment and says, oh, that's a different type of tea bagging. I said, that's so damn rude. And she said it to the point, she was trying to say that under her breath, but people still heard it. And it was kind of weird because the host kind of looked like, so then Kiki says she kind of leans forward to take a big bite out of her food, and then production kind of zoomed in on it. I was just like, Kiki, girl, you act like this the Last Supper. Like, calm down. This is a tea party, girl. This is not Golden Corral. Like, Kiki was tearing that damn food up, and production had to zoom in on her ass and had the camera like right here in her damn face. So then Melody explains, she says that the tension at the spa party, okay, was kind of bad energy, she says, and she asked that the host, what can we do to be respectful and have etiquette, okay? So then the host says that etiquette just really means how you make people feel being around you, okay? So then Stormy says, when it comes to etiquette, I cuss a lot. Okay, y'all know that's how she talking. I gotta say it like her. She said, what do you do in that situation? Because I like to cuss a lot, you know, because I'm ghetto like that. And I edit that part on. All right, so then the host says, there's always someone watching you, okay? So then the host says, when you're using cuss words, that means that you're lacking vocabulary, all right? So then Stormy looks like, with her nose like this. This is Stormy. She's sitting up there at the table. Her nose kind of goes up like this, and she looks like, after the lady says that. Okay. So then Stormy replies, honey. She says, and says that she really likes to use cuss words and says that when I say I like a shirt, that I like the motherfucking shirt. You know, that's what she says at the table in front of the etiquette host, and everybody's sitting at the table, and everybody's sitting there like, okay, what's going on here? Like, what's happening? So so then some of the ladies, like I said, they looking a little uncomfortable. She says, and so the Melody kind of looks like, Lord, why is Stormy here? Like that's giving too much, Stormy. Like, I'm gonna need you to dial back because that's giving too much. So then the host says that she says that you're representing yourself whenever you talk and act that way. So then Nell, Chris Fletcher's wife, she kind of speaks up. She says, there's an elephant in the room. She says, what's really going on with these women in this room? She said, what's really going on with the women in this room? She says, I can tell there's still something going on here, meaning let's get on with this. There's a negative energy here. Somebody needs to actually talk. Maybe apology needs to be had. A conversation needs to be had, like what is going on, all right? So then Tiffany kind of looks like, child. Then she kind of sits back in her chair, all right? So then Melody asks Nell, says, what energy are you feeling, okay? And y'all know I like to say it in male voice. What energy are you feeling? All right, so then Nell says, I think there's an energy between you and Stormy, Mel. Okay, she said, Mel, I think it's an energy between you and Stormy. All right. So then Betty, of course, feeling left out. Okay, she kind of jumps in and says, do you think it's energy between me and between Mel and Stormy, or with Stormy's mother? That's what she says to Nell. I was just like, nobody was talking to you, Betty. Okay, sit your drunk ass back and be quiet. And the whole time she's looking at Melody, because it's like she's waiting to kind of jump in and start some bullshit with Mel, because that's the only reason she came there anyway. So then Stormy says, ooh, like, oh wow, when Betty says what she says. So then Nell says, well, I don't know Stormy's mother. Meaning, bitch, shut up. I won't talking to you. I don't know you, and I won't talking to you. So sit back and eat your crumpets and shut what they call the hell up, okay? That's the kind of look that Nell was giving her. Mm-hmm. So then Melody is kind of looking at Betty like, bitch, you tried it. Like, you done came up in my tea party and you up and tried it. You kind of tried it. So Stormy kind of reaches over and she's doing this right here to kind of calm Betty down. She's like kind of rubbing her on the shoulder, like, all right, mama, bring it down. Like, you're adding a little too ghetto. Now, I know we ghetto, but you know, we said in the car we were gonna stay on 2, and you creeping on up to 5. I need you to bring it back down to 2, mama. Okay, that's the kind of rub she was giving her. So then Betty says, yes, there's a little something. Okay, she says, yes, there's a little something. So then Nell says, okay, well, let's talk about it then. All right. So then Tisha says, oh, Betty. So then Betty continues. She says, something that happened on social media, because y'all know that's where she stays, honey. Betty stays on social media, and she stays starting shit on social media as well. So how would she know something's going on social media? Because she is orchestrating the bullshit. All right. So then Stormy says about her mom, she said, oh my God, you're going to really go for it, mom. Mind you, you can tell that a conversation was had between Stormy and her mom by the reaction that Stormy had when she said that to her mom. You could tell the two of them talked about what Betty is getting ready to talk about, and the fact that Betty is getting ready to actually talk about it in front of everybody at this tea party. Okay. So yeah, she's like, Mom, you really about to go there? Like, you really about to snap on Melody about something that me and you already talked about in front of everybody? So then Melody says, you mean with me and you, Betty? She says, there's something going on between me and you, Betty? Betty says, yeah, and someone is talking. Okay. And she's referring to, I think she's talking about Mel. So then Betty says to Melody, she says there's somebody that don't have nothing to do with it. She says that that we're meaning her and Mel, says that we're gonna talk and Nell stay out of it. I was just like, why is she so aggressive? Betty was hella aggressive and she didn't need to. And Nell was kind of looking at her like, where's this energy coming from? Why are you so, like, somebody said, what is wrong with you? I'm screaming. So Nell says to Betty, she says, say that again. Like, excuse me, bitch. Excuse me. Say that. Run that by me again. Like, what was that? So then Stormy, of course, still ain't checking Betty, kind of still letting Betty be on her. So then Betty says to Nell, she says, a person is talking. That doesn't have anything to do with the situation. Meaning, I need you to shut up so I can continue to be ratchet over here. So she was trying to indirectly tell Nell to stay out of it and close her mouth so she could continue to talk when Nell was the one that was talking in the first damn place. So she rudely interrupted Nell so that she could come for Mel on her bullshit. Y'all follow me? So then Nell says to Betty, I didn't say I had anything to do with the situation, okay? So then Stormy says to Nell, she says that she will speak, but that may require that you not speak, okay? Because you may not be privy to what's going on. And I felt like that was rude, okay? That was rude. You're rude because Nell was having a conversation with your mama. So for you to jump in and for y'all to both double team Nell, whenever Nell was just opening the floor for everybody to squash the beef that they had, your mama jumped in and was being hella aggressive and coming for Nell when she didn't need to do that, because Nell was not being aggressive to her. Not once did she raise her voice. And now Stormy is picking up on that same negative energy from her mama and throwing it at Nell. And Nell is kind of looking like, what is going on here? And the whole time Mel's face is just looking like, oh hell, this is about to go all the way left. Okay. So then Nell says, I'm okay with that. All right. So then the host, she kind of looks hella confused and frustrated, like, okay, this is not going how we planned for this to go. So then the host says to Stormy, says that when she was speaking, you did speak. Like, she was correcting Stormy, like, okay, now Nell was speaking, but then you kind of spoke too, which was rude. All right, so then Stormy says that I just didn't want to forget what I was going to say. It don't matter. If somebody else is talking and you speak over them, then that means you're being rude by not allowing them to finish saying what they had to say. It don't matter. No, we don't care that you got Alzheimer's, bitch. Shut your mouth and let somebody else speak who was speaking. Okay. That's what I would have told her ass. I don't give a damn if you got Alzheimer's, bitch. I was talking. You doing this. I need you to be on this. All right. That's what I'd have gave her ass. So then the host says that was still rude. She said that to Stormy. That was still rude. Thank you for what you just said, but that was rude. All right. So then Mel says to Stormy, she says that I was asked about you on stage at the reunion, and I'm not sure, okay, if you remember that. She says that I said that I feel like Stormy represents what Love and Marriage Huntsville is. She says that's not something that I would say about someone I have a problem with, okay? So she says Miss Betty has something to say. She says, I wasn't aware that there was an issue. She says, I would like to be privy to what the issue was, all right? So the whole time Betty was sitting down from the table looking like a whole pit bull with a damn Easter hat on, mean mugging Mel, all right, and looking for a whole moment, okay? She was sitting down there looking like a whole pit bull. And let me show y'all. I think I took a picture, took a screenshot. So, because y'all know I like to give visuals, okay? Let me give y'all a whole visual, because I was like, this bitch and came through here. Yeah, this is how she was looking at Mel while Mel was talking. When Mel said that, and I had to take a screenshot because I want y'all to see that. This is how Betty was looking at Mel when Mel said that she wasn't aware that there was an issue. I said, look at her ass sitting down there looking like a distressed pit bull. Anyway, let's keep moving. So then Melody, she's kind of looking at Betty to kind of see what the energy is after she says what she has to say. So then Betty says something about a secret recording. Okay. So then production rolls tape back. Okay, on Stormy in a confessional referring to when Melody went live and mentioned something about a recorded conversation. Okay, and Stormy automatically felt like Melody thought that it was her that she was talking about in terms of a conversation when she was talking to Martell. All right. So then Betty says that people took that tweet and ran with this, saying that it was Stormy that recorded Mel's conversation. Okay. She says at any time you could have came in and said that it wasn't Stormy and you didn't do that. Okay. And then Tisha and a few other of the other guests, they kind of looking like, oh shit, like what's about to pop off here right now? Like this is not etiquette. Now we came to etiquette class and this ain't etiquette right here. This is ghetto, okay? So then Melody responds. She says that I'm gonna be honest. She says, Miss Betty, people say a lot of things about me every day, all day, but I apologize if you were offended by the tweet that I did, okay? She says that I can apologize to you for that, all right? I had to say that in Melody voice. So then Betty interrupts Melody while she's talking. She says, oh, let me shut you down with this. So whole time Stormy is smiling because she's getting a whole rise out of this bullshit. I was just like, oh my God. She says, so let me shut you down with this now. Shut up. That's what she says to Melody. And everybody kind of looks like, hold up, bitch, who you talking to? Like, whoa, who you telling to shut up? Okay. Melody just kind of looks like, excuse me, bitch. And everybody at the table was giving that look. All right, so then Melody looks at Betty like, okay, wow. Like, we really going there, wow. Like, that's a wow moment. So then Nell, they put the camera on Nell. Nell is looking like, wow. Everybody's facial expression after Betty done told her to shut up was just like, damn, really? Like, this is what we doing? So then Betty said that my direct issue with you is how you do things. Okay. So then the host is looking very agitated when they put the camera on her, like, what is going on here? All right. Melody, she kind of looks a little low-key hurt by the energy that Betty is throwing at her and the bullying that she's doing, and she's doing it in front of everybody because everybody's kind of looking at the reaction of Melody when Betty is kind of snapping at her. And when Betty says something, they're kind of looking at Melody like, oh my God, how do you feel about this? And Melody is kind of on her face. She's trying to keep a poker face, but you can kind of tell that kind of stung her when she did the whole shut up and she was kind of talking crazy to her in front of everybody. So then Betty continues. She says, not coming back and shutting it down like I don't care what anybody else say about me. She says that people don't know me. She says, and don't do nothing for me. All right. I was like, where's that coming from? So then Melody kind of shakes her head in agreement, like, okay, where you going with this? So then Betty says, I feel a certain way when someone tries to diminish what my daughter have done. She says, when you have a chance to come in and say, no, it wasn't her, that she didn't do it. She says that Stormy was not the one that actually did it. And I'm thinking, okay, Stormy is a whole grown ass woman. First of all, Betty. Okay. The question was asked, what issue did you have with Melody? And it's looking like you are speaking on an issue that you thought your daughter had with Melody. So how are you making your issue or your daughter's issue that she may have had with Melody your issue as a means to have a conversation with Melody, because you really don't have anything to talk to her about anyway? You're not friends with her. Melody already said that she may have been around you all of maybe 2 times, and that was for a very short moment. So for you to make up this whole issue in your head to make it seem like you have this huge issue with Melody and this whole conversation about this recorded conversation that you weren't even privy to until maybe Stormy came and started crying on your shoulder about what happened. So now you're making an issue that was originally Stormy's issue, your issue, because 1, you want camera time, 2, you want some clout, 3, you want an opportunity to be ghetto, and 4, you just wanted an opportunity to be able to talk to Mel. That's all it was. You don't like her, but you want to have that, that clout as it pertains to Melody. That's all it was. That's why you showed up to the tea party. You weren't invited, Martell. You weren't invited. You want that clout. You don't have a real issue with Melody. And when you did talk about the issues that you had with her, Those were Stormy's issues. You were talking about what Stormy said, and even though you didn't come back and tell Stormy this, and that, bitch, that don't have nothing to do with you. And I don't like to call somebody's mama that, but she's just on a hella petty level to the point to where you are making someone's issue your issue just to have an issue that's not your issue, if that makes sense. So then Betty goes on to say to Melody, she says that when you did come back and apologize, you said the person and not Stormy's name. She's steady being petty, y'all. So then Melody says, but that was after people were running with it was Stormy, right? Okay. So then Betty said, yes. And she's aggressive like that now. She says, you still left it so ambiguous, okay, that she didn't say it wasn't Stormy. Okay. So then Betty goes on to say, be direct. Not be direct, but be direct. And then she goes and rolls her eyes. All right. She's being hella nasty and messy. So then Melody responds. Okay. She says, again, I apologize. Okay. She says, if the tweet offended you, Betty, she says, because I didn't know that she had an issue. All right. And that's how she said it. And then, of course, in between that time, it's like crickets until Kiki kind of jumps in and says, I just want to say I have a grievance and I want to put it on the table. She kind of jumped in like that. And I was just like, okay, Kiki, you done sat up and crunched on them damn crumpets and you done cleared your plate over there. Now you ready to get in somebody's ass. She was like, okay, now I done ate everything on my plate. Now I done ate I done ate the cheese. I done ate the sandwich. I done ate the damn meatballs, bitch. Now I'm ready to cut somebody out. That's how Kiki kind of jumped in. I was just like, oh, Jesus. We still trying to digest what was going on with Betty. Now here we go with a whole nother issue, Lord. Like, where my Motrin at? Let me get a swig of water, because, child. I said, my God, where my Motrin at, Lord? I felt like I was at the tea party. The way she jumped in there, I was like, oh, Jesus. So Kiki says, thank you so much, Sugar, for the super chat. So then Kiki says, so I feel I should have a conversation with you, Tiffany. Okay. She says, there's some lies that I need to get with you about. Okay. She says, what the hell are you trying to do? I was just like, oh, shit, them meatballs kicking in, girl. Go off. Go off. All right. Mm-hmm. So then Melody interjects, no. Like, nope, we're not about to be on that now. I done got cussed out. Now, what we're not about to keep doing is cussing folk out here at the tea party. This is not why we're here. Now, y'all saw I just got my ass cheeks chewed off. Now, look, there ain't nothing back there. Now, we're not about to get nobody else's ass cheeks chewed off. Now, we about to stop this shit right here. Damn it. Kiki, eat some more meatballs and calm your ass down and sit back. That's kind of the energy Mel was trying to put out. No, we're not about to do this shit now. We're not about to do this. Okay, Millie had to talk that ass like that. Nope. Because Kiki was ready to be in nuck if you buck mode, if you will. Kiki was on her nuck if you buck. You know, I don't know if they had some alcohol there in that tea, baby. It was the Long Island iced tea or just some regular tea, but she was on her nuck if you buck. She was ready to tear into Tiffany's ass and go and help her go and deliver that baby, honey. All right. Mm-hmm. So then Kiki says, okay, not what the hell, but what are you trying to do, Tiffany? Because the etiquette lady kind of corrected her. And because she done popped off on Tiffany's ass, and she was like, okay, I didn't mean what the hell, but what are you trying to do, Tiffany? So she kind of switched it up so that she can, be within the etiquette rules or whatnot. So then Tiffany says, I said to Tisha when she came to my house that I like everyone. I just don't entertain shit. I mean, mess. All right. Because y'all know they're trying to stay within the etiquette guidelines. All right. Because y'all know Tiffany got a little slick mouth over there too. So then Kiki mumbles, yeah, you don't, she says that you don't be about the mess, you just spew it. She kind of said it under her breath, but loud enough to where Tiffany could hear it. And then she kind of leaned to the side like this, like, yes, bitch, I said it. Like, yes, you be about the shit, I said it. Y'all know when people be on that type of petty bullshit, you got to take your head that way with it. Mm-hmm, yes, I said it. Because she's still fuming. She ready to pop off, and the etiquette coach and Mel, and then told her, bring it on down. You on 10, we need you down on 2. So then Tiffany continues, honey. Tiffany continues. She says, if she's willing to throw you under the bus, what would she do to me? Okay. She says that I don't know if I want to extend myself to Kiki. All right. She says, because of how I see she treated her, to how she treated you, Tisha. Okay. She says that that I don't know you. She says that I only know of you. That's what she was saying to Kiki. So Tiffany was saying, I don't know you, girl, but I just know of you. All right. And I'm just like, if you don't know her like that, then why you got all this damn energy? But anyway, so then Kiki comes back with, she says that we never have to speak, okay? When you see me in these streets, bitch, you ain't got to speak. She was on her Cardi B. So she says, I'm okay with that. She said, let me educate you on knowing of someone and knowing someone. I said, okay, well, come on through, because y'all know she a professor, honey. And she ain't going to pass up an opportunity to be trying to school somebody on the difference between knowing someone and knowing of someone. So she get ready to break that thing down to Tiffany. And Tiffany just kind of sits up like, all right, bitch, roll that beautiful beam footage then. All right. Yes. Because y'all know that's how she be on that slick shit. So then Tiffany says, oh, I know you, okay? Yeah, I know you, all right? You ain't got to really school me. I know you, all right? So then Kiki says, of course you do. Poor pitiful soul. I was just like, oh, shit. Clearly you do, girl. So then Kiki, she kind of goes in on Tiffany of what it really means to know someone. So then Kiki says to Tiffany, she says that Tiffany is so obsessed with lying. I said, uh-oh, here we go, not the lying. So then Kiki says, I went to a whole cruise. She said, I went on a whole crusade to help you find your father, but you don't know me. Now they try to help you find your daddy out here in these streets, and you don't know me? When you see me in the streets, girl, you don't know me? That's the kind of attitude she was on. I was like, oh, shit. So then Tiffany says, Mel invited you. Okay. And there was a follow-up meeting. Okay. And you were there. All right. That's how she was saying it. So then production kind of rolls tape back with Kiki at the table with Melody and Tiffany talking about locating Tiffany's dad. All right. So then Tiffany says that there was no communication during that time. All right. So then Kiki was like, yes, I reached out during that time. All right. She says, and I had resources there to help you. Okay. She says, but I didn't mind helping you find your dad. So then Tiffany says, well, did you follow up? And Kimmy jumps in and says, did you call her after? Because y'all know, like, we ain't heard from Kimmy throughout this whole thing. So Kimmy's like, let me get a little bit of this ass whooping. Did you call her after? So she jumps in. And so Kiki said, well, did she? So she says, it's her daddy. It ain't my daddy. Like, what the hell I need to call her for? It's her daddy. She need to be doing all the calling, not me. I'm not about to run up my damn minutes over here. So she says, because I was helping. So then Kimmy says, and here's my question. Okay. So then Kiki interrupts and says, yes, I've always known who my daddy was. Okay. Like she's trying to throw a little subtle shade towards Tiffany, because y'all know Tiffany know who her daddy was. So Kiki was like, look, I know who my damn daddy is. Now I done took out time out of my damn busy schedule trying to help you find your damn daddy. I know who my damn daddy is. And it was just like a low blow. Everybody was like, ooh, when she said that, like, whoop, hold up. Like, why you take it there like you hit way below the belt there, Kiki? And you could tell that kind of stung, because when they put the camera on Tiffany, baby, it looked like somebody stole her damn bike. Like she was feeling all the way bad. It was like that was a gut punch to her whenever Kiki said, like, I know who my damn daddy is. Like, bitch, you don't know who your daddy is, but I know who mine is. And it kind of hit home for her. Tiffany was kind of looking like, all right, this is a great time for somebody to start singing Take Me to the King, bitch, because I'm dead after this. That's the way she was looking. Like, go ahead and sing Take Me to the King, bitch, because I'm dead. Yeah. So then Melody says, whoa, wait, what? Like, wait, what? Shaking her head. She said, no. Like that's the wrong road right there. That's the wrong road for y'all to turn down right there. All right. So then Tisha kind of looks at Kiki like, girl, what the hell? Like Kiki, is you on that shit again? Like, what's wrong with you? Why you come up and through here and act like this at these people place? Like, why would you say that at these people function like that? Nah. That's kind of look she kind of gave Kiki. Like, girl, can't take your ass nowhere. Damn. So then Tiffany looks up in the air, mad as hell, okay, at the comment, because you could tell, like I said, it really bothered her. She did like, oh, Lord, come on down and get me, Lord, because I'm dead. I don't want to be on earth no more. She had to be like Stormy. Lord, I don't want to be on earth no more. I'm done down here, okay? Take my ass to Mars or somewhere, because I don't want to be here. So then Melody says, per her confessional, that this ain't how this tea party was supposed to go, okay? She says that things done went left, and I'm talking about all the way left. She says, I'm going to call a spade, all right? That's what Melody had to say. So she says that what Kiki said about Tiffany's dad. She says that's out of pocket. She says, and I hope Miss Carol steps in, which is the host. Miss Carol is the host. If not, she says, I'm going to have to cut the event short before things get a little more heated. She says that I wanted us to have tea, but not overheated tea. Okay. And then the host, of course, says, first of all, catch your breath, calm down. She's telling Kiki to catch your breath and calm down because Kiki is like boom, boom, boom. She's on pop-off mode. All right. She says that Kiki said no. Okay, she says, at least I know who my dad. Okay, so then Kiki says, no, that wasn't a dig. She was trying to tell them that was not a dig at Tiffany. She's trying to say that was not a dig at Tiffany. So then Kimmy and several others kind of chime in like that was absolutely a dig. And they kind of said it almost in unison because they all kind of felt the same way. And they said it at Kiki. And Kiki just looked, she started shaking her head saying, no, it wasn't. That was not a dig. She's in denial at the fact that she was throwing a dig at Tiffany and saying that she know who her daddy is, knowing that Tiffany did not. So then Kimmy says to Kiki, she says that hear me when I say that was a dig. And if it wasn't, it was horrible. Okay. Yeah, because y'all know Kimmy got that Baltimore on her. Y'all know she don't never stand down. She like, don't let this cancer fool you, bitch. Now, I'll get with you now. So then the host says, as Black women, sometimes we try our best to hurt each other, she says, but that was hurtful. Like that put the icing on the cake right there. So then Kiki says, I wasn't trying to hurt her. Well, girl, what was you trying to do? Because that was like, that hurt me and I wasn't even there. I was like, damn. So then everyone at the table, of course, they are stunned at Kiki still denying that the comment was a dig towards Tiffany. All right. Kiki then apologizes. She says, but still, she apologizes, but she still denies that she meant it as a dig. Okay. So that's not a relevant apology if you're going to apologize and still be denying the fact that you hurt this girl and meant it in that way, because it's obvious that you did. All right, so then Melody stands up. She has these cute little black and white boxes in her hands, and she says that I'm so glad that you guys are fixing the issues. She says that we've all learned some things. She says, and we can all work on, hopefully. All right. So then Melody says in her confessional that she's hoping people can address who they need to address, because several people seem to have things to talk about in the room, that they have not cleared the air about yet. So then Melody, she addresses the group with positive words, and she thanks everyone for coming. And she says, thanks to Miss Carol for coming as well, and tells the ladies that in these boxes that she was holding gifts for everyone. All right. Cute boxes, two cute black and white boxes. So then Melody, she kind of cracks a joke at Stormy to just kind of clear the air in the room and kind of give everybody ha because the energy was just kind of thick at that time. So then Melody cracks a joke to Stormy and says, and no, it's not a Gucci bag in the box, Stormy. So then Stormy, she kind of gives a fake laugh like, yeah, that wasn't funny. All right. So, of course, that's the end of the episode, you guys. That's the end of the episode. All right. I rate this episode I'm gonna give it a 7. All right. I'm gonna give it a 7. Betty thoroughly irked the hell out of me in this damn episode, you guys. Martell, I think he lied about the way this whole party went down in terms of him talking to Maurice. I felt like Maurice gaslit the hell out of Kimmy and Kiowa, and I think he enjoyed seeing the both of them go at it. Okay, yeah. So I give this episode a 7. Did you guys enjoy the review? I tried to give y'all a little bit of so y'all don't be bored, as y'all know I do. So I hope you guys enjoyed. All right, so let's do a little recap. All right, for what's going to happen in the next episode. All right, so next episode coming up, Kiki and Tiffany, they are still fighting, but they're fighting over a text that somebody's going to send where Tiffany wrote saying that Tisha cannot control her man. So now Tisha's going to be kind of getting into it and asking Tiffany why she said what she said about her not being able to control her man. So now it's going to be tension between Tisha and Tiffany, because Tiffany's still out here on her bullshit. I'm like, girl, you are too pregnant for this. And you're going to have people waiting in line to whoop your ass after you have this baby if you don't calm it down, sis. All right, so then Sheree, of course, is going to show up to Martell's event in the next episode, all right, where Tiffany questions her about her relationship with Martell. Tiffany is still out here, child. She is fighting to keep her damn spot on this show, baby. When I tell you, Tiffany says, I'm about to be in everybody's shit and I'm about to get everybody mad to the point to where I'm going to keep my damn spot on this show. Because y'all know at one point they were talking about getting rid of Tiffany. Tiffany like, look, bitch, I need the money and I'm about to get on everybody's nerves. I'm about to tell everybody's business and I'm about to buck up on everyone, pregnant or not. And that is exactly what her ass is doing. All right, so then Tisha confronts Tiffany, like I said, about the problem with her mentioning the fact that she cannot control her husband and the issues between Tisha and Marceau. Why she's speaking on that, I don't know. So then Sheree then asked Martell the dynamic of things with the divorce, and how co-parenting and how she's actually dealing with that. Okay, and he kind of looks puzzled. And also I think it's going to be where Big Lou and the fellas kind of have like their little rift to where they're arguing about Tiffany having a conversation with Sheree at some type of little event situation, and Lewis and Martell are going to get into a heated argument to where Lewis is talking to Martell and he kind of reaches over and touches him, and Martell is going to kind of move his hand like this, and it's kind of going to look like they're going to be about to scuffle. So we'll see what that's giving, honey, because I said okay. Yeah, I don't know what the ratings for this particular episode is going to be. I think it's going to be low again because Betty was on there. People don't want to see Betty. They're not feeling it. But like I said, I do give this episode a 7 out of 10, honey. That's all I can give it. But I hope you guys enjoyed thoroughly the actual review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. It is season 6, episode 6. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it because that's all I got for you guys. Okay, please feel free to leave comments, all right, for this particular review, because y'all know I love to read the comments and I be cracking up at what you guys have to say. All right, so please leave a comment, please like the video as well, and please go ahead and subscribe if you have not. All right, somebody said I agree, 7 out of 10. Yeah, I gotta give them a 7. I cannot give them no 9 or no 10 because it won't give in all the way what it needed to give. But yes, thank you guys. What are we, almost an hour and a half? All right, so we do have Car Chronicles tomorrow. Okay, you guys know tomorrow is Monday. We will have Car Chronicles. I will be in the car on my way to work. We will be, honey, on the shenanigans and the BS as we always are. All right, but you guys have a great night. We will see you guys tomorrow for Car Chronicles. All right, be blessed. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the chat tonight. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the rest of your night. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, love you all the way that way. Thank you, mods, for doing such a great job. If there's any content creators that join us tonight in the chat, thank you guys for being here as well. All right, love you guys all the way that way. And goodbye. Yes. Bye.